we'll see just how exciting this gets. But I think, well, oh geez, sorry, that's super loud in the ears. I went through some supply caches, if you do. I gained almost 2 levels from it, so I think that's a really good way to actually start leveling up, is to go through there. Now we're just gonna go through some of these missions. I think that's the best way to do it. I don't see any other way. I've gotten a little bit better at jumping and destroying the locals. Especially with this power-up, you just, ooh, boom! And you can style on them inside the boat. Like, that's what I'm all about.
Broke the state record for number of revocable commercial fishing offenses.
So, you know, that works out real well. Well, as you can see, I did decide to save the next hunter coming up for everybody. You're welcome. And aside from that, that's pretty much it. I got a lot of stuff done on the, just collectible side. I haven't gone through anything crazy yet, so we'll see how it goes when I try to like jump out of a volcano and all that jazz. Oh god, he's where's his bounty hunter? I'm waiting for him, but I don't see him. There it is.
After the end of the tiki craze,
never mind, that's the Franken Tiki.
Polynesian-inspired decor into the Gulf.
Oh, here he is.
The corn-fed Colossus, Butcher Boy Brady.
Boy, you dangerous. Oh, I see you are dangerous. Okay. Where is he? Where are you at on this boat? Get styled on. Oh, never mind. I had him the entire time.
Aerial surveillance, confidence amongst tourists and locals alike is far from good.
I really do like that about the hunters, is that they're just people. I still want the mecha fight between me and Scaly Pete, though. I do want that. We're gonna have to check out this bioelectric body also. I did realize also it's pretty difficult to raise your threat level during certain points. I feel like only in certain parts of the game is your threat level gonna actually increase, it feels like. I could be wrong, but after not being attacked for a while, or sorry, after not attacking someone for a while, it's definitely like my threat level boosted an entire quarter. Just by eating someone on a beach, so, you know, I think the more you attack people, maybe the less likely it is to expand quickly, but we'll see. I think I might be able to draw out another hunter through this. Yeah, yeah! Come on, come on! You're mine. Next. Gimme. How about this? Get flipped on, my bro. Yeah, I don't think it's lost its charm of munching people yet. When I was doing little collectible things, it does slow down a little bit. I'd say this definitely still has the, kind of a Flash game feel to it, pacing-wise, if that makes any sense. It's just taking it and put it on more of a 3D plane. But what I do find is it's definitely dialed in what made the Flash game entertaining, so I ain't mad at it. Thank you. Also, if you randomly find divers, sometimes your threat level does not increase, I discovered. Or it does so small that I couldn't notice. Come on, let me on the boat! I've definitely taken liking to the stone body. It gives you a lot of bonuses that really help out against humans, so I am mad about it.
Sure, it would be more practical practical simply to close the beaches. But why do that when you can just set loose a gang of amphetamine-fueled locals with guns?
That's very true. Also, I realized the bigger you get, the longer the timer is that you can throttle something, which is nice. Because I was curious what the leveling actually does for you. It does make you bigger. I don't know if it increases stats. I haven't been like keeping tabs on like little bars that you have here. I assume it gets you, of course, more health and things like that, but man, I'm a big ugly shark right now. But yeah, I don't know what effect it has on just your normal stats because, of course, they're not numeric, or at least I haven't found the numeric side of it. It's just like, you know, a little bar graph. So, you know, I can't get my stats down pat. I can't min-max myself like I love to do in RPGs, but this ain't that type of RPG. And so far, yesterday I was talking about how I don't know if it's gonna be like the most in-depth RPG feeling to it, but
The hunt is over.
I say it definitely feels pretty slick still. So, well, pretty slick in the way that the RPG elements are working for them, especially when it comes to size of your shark. That really seems to be a big defining factor in a lot of this. I couldn't get this open. They said flick the switch, but boy, let me tell you something. I've been trying to hit this switch and I can manage to jump over it completely. I don't know if you maybe have to hit the gate, but I assume they mean like jump up. Oh, wait, that might have just frozen my game. Hold on. Guys, don't tail slap. Don't tail slap the gate. The game does not like it. Okay, we'll be back in 1 second. Just just give me a second here. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. Yeah, all the buttons. No bueno. Okay, 1 second. All right, we're good. Whew, man, that was a bad crash. Let's just continue. Yeah, that was like, okay, so now we know. Spoiler alert, don't slap the gate with your, just don't slap the gate. We'll see what progress I lost, and then we'll get moving from there.
Beach erosion can be
okay
for ecosystems by changing habitat conditions for such local fauna.
Oh, good. We didn't lose anything.
Sea turtles, birds, and fish.
That's nice that we now know that it has a nice autosave feature after you finish missions and after you get bounties. Oh god, you know what we should have done? You know what? Good idea, Crash. Let's see what our new electric body is that we got. I don't know if the gate's gonna open, but we'll see. Let's actually find out what this looks like. Does it look sick? Ooh, you guys know I do like cool blue. Cloaks you with a lightning aura, electrocuting anything that comes near. That's kind of cool. On lunge, turn into lightning, inflicting 4 damage and putting 2 counters on anything within 6 meters. A target is stunned when it accumulates 10 counters. A stun counter is removed every 3 seconds. Okay, so if you're not constantly attacking. Oh. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's a nifty looking shark. But, you know what? I think we're gonna wait. I really like the bone body for now. And the bone teeth, man, these things have been treating me right. I won't go wrong on them. I won't just ditch them. Okay, let's try this gate one more time and hope it doesn't, like, give me a hard crash. Alright. Easy. So yeah, like I was talking about before I decided to whack this gate, there's a button you're supposed to hit. We can all see it. It's right there. It's glowing red. I don't know quite what the plan is here. I jump, I swing my fin at it, and, well, that's been the solution that I thought was supposed to be happening, but apparently that's not it. Let's try it again. So I went like this, I come up, I jump, And I mean, I can make it over top every time, so I guess it's not a big deal.
Overdevelopment of the shoreline leads to
But
a
like,
wide variety of negative
the completionist in me says, I gotta open this. Get slapped. Get it, button. Ugh. Yeah, nah.
Thanks to powerful risk
It ain't gonna happen.
software, we now know that
Let's take it
was
this
a
way.
Wildly idiotic place to build vacation.
Actually, you know what I got more hype about that I want to show you guys really fast? Hold on. I want to show you guys this. Because remember, we couldn't get in here. Who was in combat with me, dog? Are you kidding me? A mackerel? Is this what's happening right now? You all little dudes need to be put in your place? Is this what's going on? Who is it? It's a barracuda? Get out of town. Here. Now I can show the people the good stuff. Alright, so I want to teleport here. And I wanted to explore this side of the map because it says you have to be an Elder Shark to get there. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with my life? However, now that we're an Elder Shark, we'll be good to go. I mean, we're good to go. Oop, boom. Okay. I shouldn't have jumped over. All right, let's stay over here. Remember in the beginning when you can swim through those little wood planks? Man, that was the day. Those were the days, and I needed to be over there. Never mind. Sorry, my sense of shark direction ain't that great. We'll just, Yep. This is gonna work. I can feel it. Get me in the ocean. Thank you. Alright, we'll take it around this way. Hit him! Okay. The Crawfish Bay. There we go. I decided that probably the most useful thing was to boost my, my shark sense to its max. You can get it to level 5 seems to be what you can boost things to. So that seems to work out pretty well. These boxes are also the most important boxes in the entire game. It's basically the easiest way to level up.
Searching for anything to satisfy the gluttony that is their defining trait. Over the course of a bull shark's life, it will ingest quite a broad assortment of flotsam and jetsam.
Let me up! What else we got here? I don't know if there's anything interesting over here. There should be. I mean, this is the very beginning of the game. Who the fudge is challenging me? Get out of here, Hammerhead. You're done. Alright. Easy enough. So. Oh, almost level 27. I don't know what the max level is gonna be, but we'll see. I couldn't imagine it being infinite, but it might. Guys, stop. Stop. Had I known this was the training area, I would have done this off screen. Okay. So now it looks like we got some gates that we can check out. And that'll work for us. Turtles also super important to just munch on. Just because, well, each kind of evolution tree uses kind of its same element across all of them. So I've noticed like the bone armor or the bone body and the bone fins and things I have use those blue minerals. The what is it? I guess they call it fatty, little fatty things. Those are the yellow icons. Are for like the bioelectric ones. So for the bioelectric upgrades. So they all tend to use the same shark currency that you're rolling with.
Have a habit of gobbling up anything that finds its way into the water.
What do we got? Big jumps? Kind of. Kind of! Ah, let's try this again. Oh, God. Not before you're done for, son. Come on! There we go. Alright. Now, I still haven't overcome my fear of deep waters. I didn't go back to that one spot like I said I was. I just became a big coward and just noped out of there, so... You know, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't trust dark water. I just watched, what did I just watch the other day? yesterday I watched Underwater with TJ Miller, Kirsten Stewart? Yeah, Kristen Stewart. I don't know. I'm bad with Kirstens and Kristens. It's been my weakness since I was a child. Kristen Stewart. And that was actually a pretty slick movie. There's a character in there I'm not a fan of, but it did just come out, so I'm not gonna ruin it totally. But, you know, it's an underwater kind of horror film, like an underwater suspense film. I thought it was actually pretty slick. But my favorite thing about this movie is that it's kind of like a underwater disaster thing happens. They're in a drill super far underwater at like the bottom of the Mariana Trench. And I said, well, I'm already terrified of deep, dark waters. And they're like, yeah, it's pitch black down there. And I was like, okay, we're done so far. You already got me spooked, movie. But what I really enjoyed about the film was, so I'm just R2ing right quick, was there's these suits they go out in, and I swear these are some of the coolest sci-fi suits that are practical design, that are like practical effects in a movie that I've seen in like a really long time, because they look functional and they're big and beefy, but they're not overly like giant, you know? It's kind of like underwater Master Chief suits, but also you know what? They're not underwater Spartans. I think the easiest way to think about it is they remind me of the Space Marine suit from, of course, Warhammer 40,000 and StarCraft, but mixed with kind of scuba gear that we use in modern day, mixed with those old school dive suits that had like that we put in fish tanks nowadays. I don't know the proper term for it, but that's what it really reminded me of, and just the movement of it is so good. I was like, man, this movie really hit it with these practical effects, and I'm all about this because you don't really see it a lot in movies nowadays. I think the latest one I was talking about was Pacific Rim. And those suits that they get in, that the Jaeger pilots, of course, if you haven't seen Pacific Rim, you're like, what is this guy talking about? And bro, it's been like 6 years. You got to check out Pacific Rim. But, oh God, I can't get through that hole. Oh God, wait, what's happening? There we go. But not the second one, not Pacific Rim Uprising. That one does not have the Antonius Rex seal of approval. Pacific Rim, the first one, most certainly does. So if you get a chance, check that out. But what I want to talk about is the suit design for the pilots of that look really good and hefty, and they look like this armor that they wear, which is really nice. And in this underwater movie called Underwater, but there's like 9 different underwater films with the title Underwater. Just watch the one that's the newest one. That's the one I'm talking about. The suits look nice, they look functional, they look big and beefy, they look like they could survive underwater pressures. So it's really cool. Unfortunately, a lot of the times what you see, and I'll use the second Pacific Rim, of course, is they look kind of just like plastic and styrofoam just kind of slapped together, and they look like they weigh maybe 3 pounds in total. They look lighter than what football players wear as padding. So that's always been a bummer for me. If you're gonna make something that I'm supposed to believe is big and heavy, like, you gotta do it, folks. That's just how I feel about it. So that movie's definitely worth checking out, just for the
Gulf Stream brings warm waters
I don't know.
across the Atlantic.
The set design is pretty slick if you can see it. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. There is a creature. It's worth it for the cool creature designs because they're they're underwater creatures. So, and you guys know from me just, you know, if you hung out on my channel, that I'm terrified of underwater anythings because who knows how giant it could be. You know, the stuff that's in here. That's why I'm still waiting for a giant squid to attack me, but, oh God, what happened? Oh, the Gulf. No, I don't want to be in the Gulf. I want to be here, please. Crawfish Bay. But, yeah, the monsters are cool. There's one character I really wasn't fond of that's not super cool, but of course, you know, they're supposed to be a scientist or a marine biologist or something. It always seems like the scientist people are always the worst, and they just do the most dumb things. Like, we all know about Prometheus and their terrible characters where they're like, bro, we just landed on a planet. Do we need a helmet? And you're like, nah, it's cool, whatever. Just let whatever, you just breathe it into your face. It's fine. But yeah, it always seems like they're the worst. Or they poke everything with their bare hands. Like, bro, why are you poking gooey monsters with your bare hands? Are you kidding me? Put some gloves on. Jeez, like when I go to clean my shower, I put gloves on. Like, it's ridiculous. If you can't get those on and you're poking foreign beings, just stop it. You're not a scientist. You're insane. Like the amount of random viscous goo that movie scientists touch, and I don't know, maybe real life scientists do this also, where they just reach in and just full fisting goo. Who knows? I'm not a scientist, but if that's one of the requirements, I'm gonna just miss me with that job. I'm not about it. Like, if someone's investigating this shark and there's a Maneater too, and they're like, bruh, I think I found the fish, and they find the corpse and they just put just straight up bare hand into it, they deserve to catch any horrific disease ever. Like, what was I telling you about the other day? I think it was District 9 that I was watching the other day. And also, you know, since we're all locked down and I can't go back to my job yet, I get a lot of time for movies. So or lots of time for video editing or streaming, you know, stuff like that. But since I was ill for like a week and a half and I couldn't talk, all I had to do was watch films. So, you know, I got a whole lot of... That was a weird... That was a weird kind of goo movement my shark had. But like District 9, they go in and they go, guy, you see these alien components? Let me tell you something. Just get in there, no protection, no nothing, just touch the fluids. And then what's the guy do? He turns into a horrific alien, like, one-armed thing. And you go, yeah, no, this wasn't my fault. It's because he went in there with no mask. You know? And I don't care what people say. I wouldn't... If there was an alien spaceship and they're like, bro, this is your one only chance to get in that spaceship, and I was in like jeans and some jeans and some shorts. If I was in a t-shirt and some shorts, I'm not going in that spaceship. You're crazy. I brush up against one thing or breathe something funny, I'm dead. No thanks. I'm paranoid. It's absurd, is what it is. I'm stuttering over my own words because I'm so terrified of the fact that I could turn into a horrific prawn person just by getting blasted with weird goo. Therein lies the problem. I don't trust it. Not one bit. And I think these movie scientists should really back the fudge up with how trustworthy they are. I did not get all these collectibles, guys. I apologize. We're going to this one. Should really just back the fudge up. I'm glad we got to explore this, though. Anyway, should just back the fudge up with randomly touching things and just slapping stuff and then being like, yeah, this is totally normal.
Lacking sufficient sand or protective dunes, heavily developed areas
so,
risk great danger from hurricanes
you know,
and tropical storms.
It's my 2 cents on that, which I'm sure I'll have more than 2 cents on it later, but just the inherent, I guess, sanitary components of that, like, I don't know. You know, our food preparation people wear gloves. Why can't scientists? Why can't scientists do it? Of course, in like Prometheus and things.
Drive off the road into the ocean and drown.
I feel like just a lot of plot holes arise when stuff like that happens. Is this a shark? No. I was like, is this an invitation for a shark to go tubing? But I can't get up there. Yeah, even if a child sneezes next to me, and this was before everyone said I couldn't leave my house. Even if a kid sneezed next to me, I was like, oh god, boogers everywhere. I can feel it. I can feel the child disease I'm getting. Like my friend who has kids got foot and mouth. Hilarious. But I mean, that's how it goes. I don't trust it. Not it as a child, I mean it as gross hazardous alien materials. Which, yeah, that's me, shark. Hello. It's me, a shark. Let me in. Like, what other movie was I watching? Guys, so much time for movies nowadays. They all just kind of bleed into each other. I don't know how or why, but they just kind of do. Maybe because I watch movies kind of in a, like a theme. Like, I'll watch zombie movies and I'll only do zombie movies that day. Or I'll watch certain monster movies and I'll only do monster. Like, I did Jeffrey Combs marathon, which worked out. Like, I did Reanimator 2, or Bride of the Reanimator.
The eldritch gods of yore are seldom enthused about being summoned to Port Clovis.
I don't want to get attacked by an eldritch god. Also, that looks like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, which I will not be marathon watching because I do not like those movies. But, like, I did the Reanimator, Bride of the Reanimator, and Beyond Reanimator, I think is the name. But those films kind of bleed together. And then I did From Beyond, of course, because what are you gonna do? I was trying to watch Castle Freak, but I can't find a good spot to watch it. It's not on anything. I think it's on like Tubi TV, but I don't want to sign up for any more subscriptions. You know, I'm an easy person. I don't want to have too many passwords and stuff. But yeah. But those movies are all pretty smooth. But yeah, the zombie films I watch all go together, and yeah, just rough stuff. Except I did watch Midsummer, guys. So, as we all know, most of us go on Reddit, I'm sure. And if you don't, that's fine. You don't have to. But I like horror films, so I go on the horror subreddit every once in a while. And everyone's talking about Hereditary. And I thought it was terrible, but that's fine. If you guys thought it was great, you do you. I just did not find anything like a good time in there. So everyone's like, bro, I like Midsommar way more than Hereditary. And I said, it looks kind of bad, but I'll watch it. And let me tell you something, guys. Midsommar is probably one of the worst 2-hour films I've sat through in a very long time, right after Hereditary. So, okay, that's not a surprise to anyone. I didn't like Hereditary, I don't like Midsommar. But it's just The Wicker Man, and it's not very good. And then I was thinking, I wonder what Hereditary is. And then someone wrote an article that Hereditary is just the 4 paranormal activities squeezed into one 2-hour movie, and I think I might agree with that. I definitely get those vibes without a doubt. So, if you like Hereditary and Midsommar, great. I think both of them are terrible, terrible movies. Not in the way that, and here's kind of the issue. They're not terrible in the fact that they're bad horror films. They're just marketed super bad, and their horror elements are not horror elements. They're just movie tropes that turn into just, I don't know,
This shark is a sort of
basic, predictable
dietary discrimination.
movie cliches that you can see from like a mile away. Like, something starts happening, and I instantly was just like, this movie's The Wicker Man. And I swear to God, guys, I'm gonna spoil this movie because I don't even care. It's just turn the audio off. It's fine if you don't want it spoiled. I don't have a timeline of when I'm gonna stop ranting. You know how these rants usually go. But I swear to God, at the very end, there's a man wearing the bear suit that Nicolas Cage wears. And it's just, he gets paralyzed and he can't talk or anything. And I was like, are you serious right now? This is what they're actually gonna do with this ending of the movie? He's paralyzed, he can't talk, can't move, shoved in a bear suit. He does not run around and punch anyone like Nicolas Cage, nor does he has the charisma of Nicolas Cage. I know some people are like, no, he's a bad actor. That's fine. He brought us classics like Face Off, Color Out of Space. What else did he bring us? Well, I was gonna say Air Force Black Hawk Down. That's Owen Wilson. It was oh, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's that one where he's a criminal with the mullet. It's that one time Nicolas Cage had all that hair. I can't remember what it is. My mom always talks about that as being one of the best movies ever, and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to tell you. Nicolas Cage has a charm, but that's not what we're talking about here. But, had Midsummer been Nicolas Cage in the main boyfriend role, maybe that would have been a little bit better, and his bear suit would have been better. But let me just
clown-related homicide still remains a problem in Port Clovis.
that's a nice little cameo. Who knew? Let me just break it down for you real quick. So this group of friends, there's a guy, he's about to break up his girlfriend, decides not to, her family dies. It's fine, it's foreshadowed super early in the movie, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it's so foreshadowed within the first 5 seconds of this email. So there's a girl. I'm just gonna rant about this. I'm sorry, folks. I just gotta get this on my chest how bad this movie is. There's this girl. Her name is Danny. Her parents, her sister is bipolar. That doesn't really matter because it doesn't come up ever again in the film. They're just like, oh yeah, she's bipolar, has some stuff. Not worth even mentioning. But her sister sends her an email, is like, oh, I'll see you later, goodbye, mom and dad are gonna join me, goodbye. However, the scene before this, a girl calls her family, and her mom and dad are just laying in bed, and the phone's ringing super loud, and I instantly was like, those people are dead. And then she opens up the email and is like, oh my god, my sister sent me this horrific email, I can't be able to reach her. And then it turns out her parents are dead and her sister's dead also. Like, her sister floods the house with the CO2, or with the emissions from the back of the car, the carbon monoxide, and floods the house with it. And that whole sequence takes 12.5 minutes of just long shots. And that's basically it. Like, there's so many shots of nothing in this film. They're just long shots for the sake of, I feel like, being artsy-fartsy. I don't know. I'm not an art house kind of man, so if people think I'm uncultured, totally fine. I just will not sit through long shots of nothing. But, you know, that happens 12.5 minutes, guys, for that one thing. Her boyfriend and his boyfriend's friends are like, guys, I might break up with her because she keeps being just the worst kind of girlfriend, right? And from everyone's point of view, it's like, yeah, she's just the worst constantly, all the time, terrible. And what happens is, he's like, and this is like after her whole family dies and she finds out, he's like, bro, I'm going to a party. And he goes, oh, my bad, would you like to come even though your entire family just died and you're having problems holding it together? Yeah, that's the kind of mood that this whole movie takes. And it's not a very good one. And so what happens is, she goes, all the friends are there, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to Sweden, what up? And then, come on, get slapped, button! One more time. And then he invites the girlfriend. Yep, this is fine. Gotta get it. Come on, come on! I guess not. And then, long story short, because the movie's long enough, she ends up going to Sweden with him, even though she can't hold it together. And they go to this commune, which the minute it focuses in, I was like, this is the Wicker Man. Immediately, I said this movie's gonna be garbage. I wish Nicolas Cage was in this instead of these 5 groups of people. And they get into, of course, the, I don't understand your culture shenanigans and all those things. There's some people, once they hit the age of 72, they have to kill themselves and they jump off a cliff. And if you've seen Hereditary, you know what's about to happen. The people jump off the cliff and they show it, but it's like shown super goofy, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Not the fact that they jump off, but just the fact that they show it. There's like a character who jumps and their face is crushed, but it doesn't look like the dummy that they throw off the cliff hits its face, and there's like, well, its face is crushed. Like, they didn't even do a second take on that bad boy. And then an old man jumps off the cliff, lands both feet. I mean, the dummy lands both feet. And then he just has one leg broken, of course in like a gory fashion, which is just super boring nowadays. Like, I've seen all the horrific movies I can see. You're not gonna be able to surprise me with gore. I'm sorry. I'm too desensitized, I think. But like, his leg is bent in half and all the gore is happening, and I don't know. It just doesn't serve a lot of purpose. There's so much meandering in this movie, like there is in this rant right now. This rant, just draw it out and slow-mo it to 2.5 hours, and that's Midsummer. That's the best way to describe it. Also, that's the best way to describe Hereditary for me also, is just, instead of this rant being about a woman who's getting broken up with slowly by her boyfriend who can't stand the fact that she's always leaning on him for emotional support, replace it with a family grieving for their lost child and their parent, and for a family who I never think even liked each other to begin with, and then ask me to care. And I just won't, nor can I. And then just, again, drag that out to 2.5 hours, and you'll be good to go. That's Midsommar, and that's Hereditary all in a nutshell. I hope no more of those films ever get made, but, you know, with the reception of some of those movies, it's probably going to be just more of those coming down the pipeline. Of course, if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I watch terrible movies, even just so I can understand the point of view. Like, I'm not a fan of the Marvel films. I guess this is going to be a movie rant because, of course, I'm just being a shark. Not a fan of the Marvel films, but I can get why people are. I'm not a fan of Hereditary and Midsommar, and I don't understand why people are. I think that's kind of where my disconnect is. But, and of course, who doesn't love monster trucks?
Big Finn stepped away from the limelight.
But of course, you know, I get why people like superhero movies. I don't understand why people like these two other films. They're nothing that is super amazing. If it sounds like I'm talking really loud, it's just because this game has some deep bassy noises that conflict with my voice in my headset. So it's not that I'm screaming about how bad I think these movies are. It's just that there's a loud shark attacking people, and I don't want to mess up the audio mixing. So I'm just gonna have to deal with loud shark noises for a little bit longer. Yeah, man, I really hope horror movies do not turn into like these art house, long, drawn out movies of, I swear to God, 30-second holds. Okay, I'm exaggerating. They're not 30 seconds. They're like 29.8. But these really long, exaggerated holds on shots where they're like, bro, we need these holds on shots. It's symbolism. And I go, no. It doesn't need to be that much symbolism in there. You know what? Just swing a Nicolas Cage in a bear suit past the frame and I'll get what you're trying to say. It's a bad rendition of The Wicker Man. And I know that The Wicker Man was also done in like the 70s. I just haven't watched the original. I think it'll be next up on the list. I'll watch all the movies that Midsommar and Hereditary are based on, and I think they may all be better, but I'm not sure. I won't 100% that, and I won't even go in with that attitude. I'll just give it the good old college try of maybe this is gonna be a good movie. And hope it is. Get over here, great white shark. You can't fight me, I'm the best. I sat through 2.5 hours of trash. You ain't gonna be bad. But, yeah. I'll sit through movies just so I can tell people I've sat through it and I can't appreciate it for what other people appreciate it for. I have a buddy who has this great, amazing ability to look at everything and just look at it with the most positive outlook ever, and I go, man, I don't know how you do it, because some things are just unfortunately bad, and I'd really rather them not be bad, but they are. Like, let's see. So what's a good example of it? Do you know... Sorry, I'm trying to find a good comparison that people might know. No, because maybe it's an obscure one. No, I'm struggling for a way to think how this made it into commercial success for it. Oh, do you remember when everyone was like, no one likes single player games are not the way to go, and gimme multiplayer games or no games. And for the longest time, we got like just a lot of multiplayer games and not a lot of really good single player horror experiences or things like that in video games. But really, like, no one asked for no horror games and no good single-player experiences, and for a while they were kind of, like, diluted and dialed down, and you always needed a multiplayer aspect or some other, just, other feature jammed into your game. And that kind of became the norm for a while. The reason it always bothers me when something's really bad, or not bad, but just not the best represented and represented wrong, which is because I love horror movies. Midsommar and Hereditary and movies like it rub me the wrong way, is that they're marketed as horror films, so people take them as horror films, but they're not. And that always gets my goose constantly. It'd be like if I market this as a third-person shooter because I can grab something and I can whack it with my fin and then launch it as a projectile. Like, that's not genuine. It's just to get butts in seats. Like if I was like, bros, you love Modern Warfare? Have you heard of Maneater, where you're a shark? Like,
There is a very
that's
real risk
that's
of
kind of the feeling I
drowning
get from
while surfing,
Midsommar.
But at least you'll leave behind a cool-looking skeleton.
Do you like horror? Well, good, because you're gonna love this breakup movie with 0 horror elements in it. That's basically it. Yep. Now back to oh god, we're hitting the depths. By Neptune's beard. What is this? What is that? That's no, I'm just a shark. The Gulf. Here we are.
That of sea salt, nitrogen oxides, and an intriguing array of
What's that noise?
volatile organic-
Is it a shark?
Sometimes even sharks.
That's
just
not me.
need a dirty boat.
It's so big. Oh my god! Oh Jesus Christ! It's an orca! Oh god! It's morphin' time. Now you're gonna get these combos. Now you're gonna feel them. Nope, don't. Get boosted on. Get slapped. Come back here. I'm not done with you yet. You started this fight. I was terrified of it, but now I'm gonna finish it. But I swear to God, if a Kraken rises up, I'm putting my controller down, I'm walking away, and I'm gonna go play Tabletop Simulator or something like that. I cannot handle this. I'm in too deep. My ankles are actually getting cold. I don't know what's going on. It's a horrific physiological response. Oh, yes, chunks. Alright. Oh, you know what? It's because the AC turned on. Without a doubt, I can hear it. But God, my feet were getting cold real fast, and I was like, I'm dying. I'm freaking out. It's over. Talking about Tabletop Simulator.